invitation. Today is World Suicide Day. As you know, suicide was not regulated at first because we were thinking that suicide is a taboo. So we want to get people talking about suicide, even at the FM station, radio station. We didn't get someone talking about suicide. So suicide was going on in the communities. People were committing suicide. That's important. We get to know. And now it's really increasing. That is why today we are here. We are going to begin with an open prayer. And we are going to invite our brother, he is a mental health officer at Malaysia Hospital. We are going to invite him to give us an open prayer so that we can start. That's what we do for others to do. Thank you. So, I will thank you.
Good morning. Any day comes to the empire. I don't know there are saying so we don't feel as I wish you. The prayer is very safe. I shall give you where it's as yet you and what was the church. The end you have to look here. It's me a church from the way we get money. The use of the area is in a select quality.
We thank you very much for such a wonderful program. The MC will join us, so the name I will be MC. My name is Shosine Blackman. I'm the regional mechanic of the Ashanti region. So we can't wait for the MC. We also have a program at the radio station. So he will join us, but we can't wait for him. So we will send out a few. So we begin by introducing ourselves. I will introduce the schools and the others will introduce themselves. I will introduce the schools and our commanders and our staff who are up there. I will introduce them and the individuals will introduce themselves. So I'll begin by calling Pentecost SHS. Pentecost SHS behind. Yes. Then, since. I'm also very welcome. They came with their teachers. The teachers will mention their names. So you are not, you are going to mention your name. So you are not confused. So you don't come. Then, JA before SHS, supervisor. You are very, very, very most welcome. Then we have Ottomanina. Our question is, I have to know how to mention it before I need to. This one? Ottomanina. Okay. So Ottomanina, SHS. Please, let's clap for them. You have to show me how to mention it. What about it? Nursing and midwifery, school, SNP school, Okarachi. Thank you very much. I have ANUST, SHS. We are also here, ANUST. I have the DTL World. The DTL World. Yes. You will tell us what you are doing because, yes, after introduction, you tell us something about yourself. Yes, just a short one so that you know you. So the rest, we are going to send the mic after that. Then I introduce our guest actors. Thank you. So, Victoria, the word. And we have 8 people, second charity and concern from the fire service. take you for the Ukoni for person, and have ASP Gabriel Mantu Kalero, sorry for that. Yeah. I'm not confessed on the immigration. First, I wasn't able to contact their names, so I'll get their names and also and bring it to you. We are going to also introduce we have Mr. Usmege from Winning Way. He's an administrator from the Kumasi Sexual Room. And we have Sister Lydia from Winning Way. So that's this thing from the address and bring it to you. We also have one person that I was supposed to wait, but he had to introduce the things he's going to give us the welcome address. He's our father in the region. He's a father, I'm telling you, he's a father. You are always welcome, no matter who you are, whether you're a student, whether you are who you are. Though the position is very high, no matter who you are, when you come to him, you see that he's really a father. And he's going to give us a welcome address. So that much I do. I'll introduce our father, the regional director of health service. He is in the person of Dr. Emmanuel K. Timpan. So he can Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you very, very much. I was not supposed to introduce you now, but with Dr. Emmanuel A. is trying to give us a welcome address, and he's on the program. He's also to give us a speech. So he says he will combine it because to be here and someone they have to go and call him. So we combine it and give us the speech, a welcome address, and the speech. So we are going to welcome him. Please give them a round of applause.
Colleagues in the security services, my other colleagues in health, yes, my children, good morning. We've met here because today is World Suicide Day. Anytime I hear somebody has committed suicide, I get worried because it's not supposed to happen. Anybody who commits suicide means that the person is sick and that we couldn't make the diagnosis, and that's the reason why it has happened that way. Unfortunately, in our tradition, if you commit suicide, it's considered as a stigma. And for that reason, if you are not careful, they will give you even a better barrier. And that's very unfortunate indeed. Because for somebody who has suffered so much, to the extent of ending his or her life, and at the same time to fail to give appropriate burial, is very unfortunate indeed. It's unfortunate to the family, it's unfortunate to the loved ones, and that's the reason why we met here. To explain the concept very well to you, for you to understand what happens before somebody commits suicide. So, we have a theme for today, and the theme is creating hope through action. Anybody who commits suicide means that the person has lost hope completely. The mind is one of the most powerful tools that we have. In fact, the mind controls everything. And that we have a concept that you are what you think. Whatsoever you think, that is who you are. The world is full of challenges, difficulties that you have to go through. For the young ones, sometimes it's very difficult to go through some of the challenges. In the moment you will start going through challenges, the mind starts telling you something. It either depresses you or elates you or it flattens you. So we call it emotional changes. And the emotional changes is either elevated, remains flat, or depressed. So when you have any depressive signs and symptoms, that means that there is something worrying you. You have challenges and other things. And sincerely, if you don't get support, then the end result is that you commit suicide, which is very unfortunate. If we look around us, and the world that is changing, this time you hear so many people committing murder, homicide. The police will tell you somebody has killed their wife and all these things. It's not normal. It means that we are moving from one phase of our life to another phase. In fact, those of us who are old will tell you that a lot has happened within 20 years. And for those of us who were in that generation, where there were no mobile phones, when I was a student, there wasn't anything like mobile phone. I remember the first time I went on the internet was when I was doing my master's program, as far back as 1995. And we went to the lecture room, and our professor said there was something called internet. So you want to open the internet for us to see. We spent a whole day, we couldn't get access to the internet. But now, with your mobile phones, you can go on the internet and access whatsoever you want. What you see on the internet, what you see on the social media, what you hear, for we doctors, we say it's not real. All of them are active, but the mind, from what you are seeing, we call it law of pictures, will assume that that is the normal thing. So all the nice things that you see, they are not real. So we are living in a world, we call it cosmetic world. There's nothing that you see that is real. In fact, about 80% of those things that you see on the internet is active. They are all active, like somebody acting a film. They are not real. But the mind will tell you that that is the real. And then you aspire to achieve those things. But since it's not real and it's cosmetic, you will never reach your goal. And for that reason, you become so disturbed, so distressed. And then it changes your mind, it changes your emotions, it changes your brain function, and you start having problems. And you think that the world is not good for you, you are not good, nothing is good, and that all your thoughts becomes negative. When your thought becomes negative, there are chemicals that are produced in you. You call them the cortisols. They are produced and changes your whole personality. And by the time you realize, then you've gone to a state of depression, where you assume that the world is not good for you, the people around you are not good for you, nobody is helping you, and if you are not careful, by the time you realize, then you committed suicide. It usually starts with ideation, thinking, and then if nobody supports you, then it ends there. So especially those of us around that person should sense that this person is in danger. And what do we see? The person's thoughts, the person's communication, and everything tells you that if you don't take care, this person will commit suicide. Because they start giving you very, very wrong things. Nobody likes me, I'm not loved by anybody, and all those things. And when they start telling you that, then you should know that this person has what we call suicidal tendencies. And don't take it for granted if somebody tells you that he will commit suicide. Because by the time it comes from the mouth, then already the brain has prepared everything. And by the time you realize, then it has happened. is very, very unfortunate. I always give an example of my own classmate in the medical school who committed suicide. He told everybody around that the course is very difficult and that he's having problems. Meanwhile, people were having too many problems than him, but he thought that he was having problems. He was telling his friends and other people, but they thought it was a joke. By the time we realized, then he has committed suicide. So especially the young ones, make sure that you communicate. People are here, you have so many people that you can share your problems with. And as I said, the problems themselves are opportunities for you to move up. Never think challenges are something to depress you. Any challenge that you go through in life is a fuel that will propel your better future. Because you can learn from people, their experiences in life, the challenges they face, and they will always tell you that that is the reason why they've been successful. Because this world is the challenges that you go through that will make you a better human being. And as I keep on saying, the challenges and the difficulties that we are having at this time is the fuel that is going to prepare our better future. Because as a doctor, and the challenges that we are going through as a medical officer, when somebody sees you as a doctor, he may think that, oh, for doctor it is good. But when they keep you in the theater to do service, or service, at night and day, and you'll be seeing blood all over, people with very severe conditions, people dying on you, you realize that that is not the best thing that you are saying. Then people will be saying, no, doctor, everybody wants to do medicine. Yes. But when you enter into the profession, you realize that as far as the work is concerned, if you don't have anything to motivate you as a doctor, there is no way you can practice a better medicine. Have you seen somebody dying before? Have you seen the process that you go through before you die? Have you visited a mortuary? Have you seen bodies in the mortuary? And for medical school, they will give you a whole dead body to dissect. And by the time you finish, then there will be nobody. So if you go through all these challenges, the only thing that will motivate you is that I just want to pursue this profession. It's the same with nursing. It's the same with the security agencies. If you're a policeman and they've asked you to take a gun and go on night duty, and armed robbers are coming, you see, it's a threat to what? Your life. But if you don't have anything to motivate you, then you become depressed. Because when you are going in as a policeman, you didn't know. All that you saw is some policemen wearing a very nice uniform and holding gun. But the challenges that we have is what the work entails itself. So when you enter the profession, because you want a job, you go there, they give you the gun, and then they give you the uniform. And these are only tools. And then they tell you to function. Because we are going to beat armed robbers. Or if you are a military man, you are going to war. It's there that you realize that there's a big duty for you to face. And if you are not somebody who has been psyched so much, the next thing you do is that you may even commit suicide. Because you get depression, and then by the time you realize, you are there. So career progression is so important. Whatever you want to do, understand what you are going to do. Not that because people are doing it, then you are also doing what? Doing it. Because when you go in and the work is so challenging, it's likely that it may disturb your brains, it will depress your system, and then by the time you realize, then you develop signs and symptoms of depression. And some of the signs and symptoms of depression is the suicide that we are talking about. Suicide can happen at any age. Sometimes you see a 12-year-old boy hanging himself. You may not understand. But one thing is that anybody who goes through that, the first thing is that you'll be looking at the processes, how you can kill yourself. So by the time you realize, then they go on the internet and then find out how to commit suicide. Then they tell you that, oh, when you have a rope here and you do this and you do that, you can commit suicide. So all those things that you see the children doing is because they've learned it. So for the young ones, the internet is very good. The social media is very good, but at the same time, it's one of the most dangerous tools that you can have on your hands if you are not well prepared. It's just like giving a gun to somebody who is not trained. And that is what the young ones be like. They'll be sitting throughout the night. As to what they are watching, you don't know. But there's a concept we call law of pictures. Whatsoever you see, whatsoever you think of, is what you do. The reason why we are having so many challenges is that we are learning too many bad examples from what we see. And for that reason, it has affected our behavior. So if you are an adult at home, the children are watching you. If you are a father and you are alcoholic, and you are a smoker, by all means, your children will end up in that condition. If you are a father and you are on drugs, the children will do what? Will be drug addicts, because they will definitely learn from you. As the Bible says in 2 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, bad company corrupts good character. Irrespective of how good you are, if your company is bad, it's always easier to learn from what? The bad people than the good people. So you can, in school, you can remain with the good people, but when bad people comes in, they will destroy you. So don't ever associate yourself with any wrong person. The person can be your friend, the person can be even your brother, your sister. But make sure that that person do not come into your life. Because when they come into your life, they will definitely destroy you. They will change your mindset about everything. And you become a very negative person in life. Even if you see good things, you translate them as bad. Sometimes I get worried when I hear some of the comments that people give on television, radio, and other things. Because you can see that these are people who have been brought up to think negative in life, and to them, nothing is good. If you are that person, you will never succeed in life, and you will corrupt very, very bad. You become a corrupt person, and you corrupt others. So there are certain radio stations I do not listen to. There are certain people I do not listen to. There are certain films I will never watch as a child, because they have a very wrong influence on you. And the moment you listen to them, they will corrupt your mind, they will depress you, and the next thing you see is that you are down. They will tell you that, oh, you can do this, the sakawa, and all those things. People can become addicted to whatsoever they are doing. Yesterday, I was in Masopanta area, and I saw young people like you, all on the ground floor. You either see them on Okada or on the ground floor, because their only motivation is to make money. They don't know that there's more to life than that what they are doing. If you grow up to be 40 years, can you do balancing? Can you bake? So your future is a process. Don't think of what you will get today. Yes, we call it immediate gratification. And that is the concept that is going to destroy this country completely, because our young ones think that when you get a car, you get a house, and you get money, that is the end. And that is the most dangerous thing that every country will ever go through. Because at a certain age, you realize that it's not the money, it's not the car, but it's the right attitude and right concept in life. And you hold yourself to be socially responsible. You have a country where people are socially irresponsible, because they think that the only thing in life is to make money. The only thing in life is to buy a car. The only thing in life is to get a house. But those are just processes. They are just something that will facilitate our living as people. But that is not the goal of our life as human beings. And that's the reason why we are having so many murder around. We are having so many suicide, so many attempted suicide. It's because people have lost hope, they've lost future, they don't know where they are. It's not giving them any good thing in life. All that is giving them is to grow up, to buy a car, to build a house. And that is what we call work. That is a wrong concept. That is not work. Anybody who is at my age will tell you that that is not work. By the time you grow up to be getting to 50, most of us who are almost 60 will tell you that that is not the case. So we have to inculcate in you, as young people, the way of life. The way of life. For me as a Christian, I believe that there are certain also Christian principles that you should always inculcate into the child. To change the child's thinking about life so as to support the child. And if you start on a good note, you hold positive attitude towards life, you change your life, definitely life itself will be good for you. So, let's learn something. As I said in summary, not all that you see is gold. Not all that you see is gold. The good things around. But they have a young man's son. I've lived with him throughout life because I gave birth to him. He's now in secondary school SS3. So I called him and told him, Nana, you've seen our life. Anytime you go to school, the driver should be driving you to school. You have Land Cruiser. You always be driving a Land Cruiser. Do you see anything different in your life? I said, no, Daddy, there's nothing. I don't see anything. He said, can you ask your friends how they think about you? He said, no. You think I'm doing well. Do you think you are doing well? No, I don't see anything. That is the fact of life. You, those things that you think you have, let us give it to you. 48 hours, 24 hours, and it becomes what? Normal. We've had the opportunity of traveling the whole world. Sometimes I ask people, do you see anything? We are here, we are in Ghana. Tomorrow we'll be in the United States. Do you see anything different? Also, other people, nothing. It's the same. But if you are somebody who is now aspiring to achieve those things, you may think that when you get there, you will see something.
Despite the challenges that we are going through now, we believe that everything will come to an end, and that these challenges will build us, will strengthen us, and will be a fuel for us to do better things. So irrespective of COVID-19 and the challenges that we are facing, we believe strongly that we will come out better. So especially to the youth, you shouldn't worry at all. Continue with your education, learn a trade, build a good knowledge, build the skills, and above all, your moral attitude should be upright. And once you do that, I'm sure that the next 10, 20 years will be the best years that you will have. So we wish you God blessings in your endeavor, and I believe in track that you will do it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Does anyone have a question for Nanka? You know you have a question. Yes. My name is Dr. Martin. I'm the National Director of Health Services. playing being my children. Yes. So some of you are my grandchildren, some of you are my children. So, thank you very much for your time.